Assalamu alaikum, 6 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Farzana Khan. First, the headlines. Lahore High Court has granted bail to PMLN Qaid Nawaz Sharif on medical grounds in Chaudhry Sugar Mills case. President has emphasized the need to fully utilize the trade potential between Pakistan and Iran to further enhance bilateral economic relations. Special Assistant on Information says improvement in World Bank's ease of doing business will increase interest and trust of foreign investors in Pakistan. Pakistan has lodged a strong protest with India over its recent ceasefire violations along the line of control, which resulted in martyrdom of 3 innocent civilians. Kashmir Day was observed today to express solidarity with the oppressed Kashmiri people. The United States has announced to deploy additional troops in eastern Syria to protect oil fields. And now the news in detail. The Lahore High Court today granted bail to PMLN Qaid Nawaz Sharif on medical grounds in Chaudhry Sugar Mills case. A two-member bench headed by Justice Bakar Najafi heard the petition and announced the judgment. PML President Shahbaz Sharif had filed the bail application for release of Nawaz Sharif from the custody of National Accountability Bureau. Aviation Minister Ghulam Sarwar Khan says the government will facilitate former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif in his medical treatment. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad this evening, he said the PTI government does not do politics on issue of health as it is a humanitarian matter. He said the government fully respects the decisions of the courts in letter and spirit. President Arif Alvi has emphasized the need to fully utilize the trade potential between Pakistan and Iran to further enhance bilateral economic relations. He was talking to his Iranian counterpart, Dr. Hassan Rouhani, on the sidelines of the inaugural ceremony of the 18th Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Baku, Azerbaijan today. Dr. Arif Alvi said Pakistan considers Iran as an important country as both countries share more than 900-kilometer long border. The president briefed his Iranian counterpart on the continuous lockdown and human rights violations in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He thanked the Iranian leadership for its continued commitment and support towards oppressed people of occupied Kashmir. President Dr. Arif Alvi attended the inaugural ceremony of the 18th Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Baku, Azerbaijan today. More than 100 heads of state and government attended the session. Special Assistant to Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting Dr. Firdaus Ashikavan says improvement in ranking of Pakistan in ease of doing business is a testimony to the fact that economic policies of the government are bearing fruit. Addressing a news conference along with advisor to Commerce Abdul Razak Dawood in Islamabad this afternoon, she said the ranking will increase interest and trust of the foreign investors in Pakistan. Dr. Firdaus Ashikavan, while referring to health of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, said Prime Minister Imran Khan is taking regular updates on the medical condition of Nawaz Sharif. Today, the Prime Minister sent Dr. Faisal, a medical expert, to inquire from doctors the health status of Nawaz Sharif. The Prime Minister once again reiterated that health issue is beyond politics and all our measures would be taken to provide care to him. Speaking on the occasion, advisor to Prime Minister on Commerce Dr. Abdul Razak Dawood said improvement in making of Pakistan in ease of doing business is of key importance as foreign investors are closely watching it. Pakistan has lodged a strong protest with India over its recent ceasefire violations along the line of control, which resulted in the martyrdom of 3 innocent civilians. Director General South Asia and SAARC, Dr. Mohammad Faisal, summoned the Indian Deputy High Commissioner, Gaurav Ahluwalia today and condemned the unprovoked ceasefire violations by the Indian occupation forces in Shahkot and Koirata sectors. Dr. Mohammad Faisal urged the Indian side to respect the 2003 ceasefire arrangement in letter and spirit and maintain peace on the line of control and the working boundary. He emphasized that the Indian side should permit UNMOGIP to play its mandated role as per the UN Security Council resolutions. Dr. Mohammad Faisal said ceasefire violations by India are a threat to regional peace and security and may lead to a strategic miscalculation. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Kashmir Day was observed today to express solidarity with the oppressed Kashmiri people. Those working in the government departments wore black armbands entitled I Am Kashmir to convey the message that Pakistan fully stands by their Kashmiri brethren. Ministry of Information Technology and Communications, in collaboration with Pakistan National Council of the Arts, organized an art exhibition on solidarity with Kashmir at Pakistan National Council of the Arts. National Assembly Speaker Asad Kaisar has urged the world parliaments to send their parliamentary delegations to Indian-occupied Kashmir to witness blatant human rights violations there. He was addressing a gathering in Islamabad in connection with the Kashmir Day. The speaker said he has also written letters to the parliaments across the world about the situation in occupied Kashmir. Asad Kaisar said Pakistan is united on the issue of Kashmir and will go to any extent in support of oppressed Kashmiri people. He said National Assembly, the Senate, government and the opposition will become the voice of Kashmiri people and plead their case at different levels. In his remarks, Chairman Kashmir Committee Fakhar Imam said Pakistan will not refrain from any sacrifice for the cause of Kashmiri people. Hurriyat leaders and civil society members organized a forceful demonstration outside the Indian High Commission in Islamabad today against the Indian atrocities in occupied Kashmir. The participants of the demonstration urged the UN to take cognizance of the gross human rights violations being perpetrated by Indian troops in the occupied territory. They also appealed to the world human rights organizations to put pressure on India to stop the state terrorism in occupied Kashmir. In occupied Kashmir, soon after Jummah congregational prayers today, people took to the streets in Srinagar, Badgam, Gandarbal, Islamabad, Pulwama, Kolgam, Shopian, Bandipora, Baramulla, Kupwara, and other areas of occupied territory, shouting high-pitched pro-freedom and anti-India slogans. Indian troops and police personnel fired tear gas shells and pellets on protesters at several places, injuring many of them. The occupation authorities had imposed restrictions to forestall demonstrations and a march towards Jamia Masjid in Srinagar. The United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres continues to call for the Kashmir dispute to be resolved through dialogue, saying any solution should be noted in the respect for human rights of the people living in the valley. The spokesman of the Secretary-General, Stefan Dujarric, at the daily press briefing in New York, said Antonio Guterres would engage whenever he can with Pakistan and India on the issue. He said the Secretary-General has discussed the issue of Kashmir with the Prime Ministers of Pakistan and India during the General Assembly session. The United States has announced to deploy additional troops in eastern Syria to protect oil fields. The Pentagon, in a statement, said that the planned reinforcement will take place in coordination with the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces to prevent the oil fields from falling into the hands of Daesh. Russia has sent reinforcements to strengthen its military police deployed in Syria. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, 300 more military police personnel from Chechnya have arrived in Syria to help withdrawal of Kurdish forces and their weapons from Turkish safe zone along Turkish-Syria border. And finally, the weather forecast. Mainly dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, rain and thunderstorm with light snowfall over the high mountainous areas is expected at a few places in Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.